One of the tools I suggest to my customers is the Japanese pull saw. It's very economical and very versatile. I'll show you a couple different ways it can cut, and what's nice about it is you're really getting two types of blade in one saw. So I'll show you on a finished piece of wood here, and then we'll show a couple other applications. The thing about the Japanese pull saw is we're actually cutting on the pull motion, and it's designed, the steel that they use is very high tensile strength. So when you pull it, you're actually pulling the blade straight, so it gives you great control and it gives you great accuracy. So we're going to use this on a piece of finished wood here that we're doing some trim work on, and this style blade comes with two teeth. We have a very fine cut on the one side, and we have a coarse, faster cut on the other. Some of the Western saws you have to choose either between a rip cut or a cross cut style, and so with this style blade you can actually have both in one blade. So we'll start here, and most of your cuts I have my line already set here, and we can either use a guide, or I'm just going to use my finger to start it here, and we'll just get the blade started and just pull back gently, and then from here we're going to use a very low angle, almost completely flat up to about 10 to 15 degrees, and with a gentle pulling motion you can see how quickly it cuts. And because of the strength of the steel, they can make it very, very sharp, the blades, and it gives us a very thin cut, so the kerf is very narrow, and you can see how beautiful that cuts, and it cuts very accurate. Alright, one trick is if you're cutting a small piece of wood like this, you can actually lay it pretty flat and cut through your line and use that as a guide, and then just with very light pressure the blade will follow that line and give you just a beautiful clean cut. I'm taking that piece I cut and I'm going to rip it down 2 1/4 inches. And so I can lay the blade almost flat and create a guide right down my pencil line. And it would be very difficult to do anything like this by yourself without clamping it down with a Western style saw. So again, the pull saw does an amazing job. And you can see how quickly it cuts and what a smooth line it makes, and because it's such a thin blade it doesn't create a lot of waste, and you can really keep a nice accurate cut. Alright, I flipped the piece around and you can see how easy it is to catch these lines because I can lay this blade horizontally and fall into the other line created by the cut. You can see how easy it is to cut something like that, rip a piece of wood down by yourself and leave just a beautiful finish. Alright, I cut a piece of trim for the cabinets we're working on, and it was actually cut just slightly too long. And here's a case where the Japanese pull saw does an excellent job. Because of the thin kerf and this thin blade, we can cut off just a fraction off the end of this board. And you can see how easy it is to control, and we're going to cut this straight across, leaves a perfect finish, and it would be very difficult to do this with a Western style saw. And you can see how easy it is by yourself, and what a beautiful cut and what a thin cut you can do with the Japanese pull saw. Another great feature of the pull saw is the steel's flexibility, and because of this we can cut wood jambs and trim very easily without having to remove it all. So if you were putting down new tile, new flooring, whatever it was, the blade itself will actually flex and allow you to cut the trim and just leave it in place. So again, very versatile, very good tool. Project, whether you're cutting through 2x4s using the coarse side of the saw, or whether you're doing projects that need a very professional finish, the pull saw does an excellent job. Great tool to have in your toolbox.